I was gonna do like a doosh, doosh, doo. All right, I'm gonna do it. Doosh, 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 doosh. Okay, what does that remind you of? Me being crazy? Probably. All right, but here in Michigan, we we have EDM festivals, and we are known for Detroit Electronic Festival, music festival. They call it movement now. I don't know why you would want to call it movement. It always sounds like a bowel movement to me. I know that's gross, but, like, they say it, and I'm like, you guys should think of something else to call it," but that's just my own personal beef. However, we have a bunch of festivals here in Michigan, and we recently had a festival called Electric Forest, and there was a dead baby found in a porta potty, and multiple people were deceased at the festival. And it caused quite an uproar in the electronic music festival raver community. They're all upset. We're peace, love, and now homicide. Hooray! And recently there was a event called Blissfest. I have never been to Blissfest. It does look very blissful. It is like, from what I can tell, one of the kindest, true-hearted, like, let's come together and make stuff happen type of festivals. And you would think that this Blissfest would be immune to the weirdness, but that's not true because 37-year-old Daryl Lon Hartman suffered severe neck injuries while staying in the festival campground between July 10th and 12th. He was discovered on the early morning of July 12th, and they say he lost 8 quarts blood, and there's all this speculation, rumors of a hate crime. It's crazy. I want to talk about it because no one else is going to talk about it, especially no one else that has any connection to the EDM world, and I'd like to discuss that as well. I kind of have like a third degree of a connection to the EDM world. I've worked at festivals, I've gone to festivals, I know people at festivals, I know the community of the festivals, and I have lots to say. So let's get controversial and spooky. Spooky too. Okay, I'm Detroit Allycat. I like everything true crime, paranormal, anything weird or unusual. And I am doing 30 days of YouTube. Probably the most insane. Can you see my face, or does my nose look like a microphone? All right, there I am. This is probably the most insane challenge I have ever done. I am like delirious. I've got a normal job where I run a circus company. I've got a family. I've got day-to-day life activities. I rescue dogs, and I'm doing this YouTube thing, and I'm getting a little loopy. I digress. You're going to love me. So you should subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, like the post, because I find that so enjoyable. All right, let's get back to the topic at hand. All right. About a month ago, Electric Forest happened, and I made a video about it. I gave you all the history of it. I talked about it. And you want to know what? So let me tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened first. The biggest thing that happened is a woman gave birth to a live baby in a porta potty. And that baby suffocated and died on human excrements. And I watched all of the festival goers, festival people, all of them freak out and explain why this was okay and the reasons for it. And it just blew my freaking mind. And the year before that, over at Burning Man, a dude got murdered. Some Russian guy. I don't have his name in front of me, but he was murdered, and they never found out who like killed him. So back to the present, sorta. I like to go all over the place, like a time traveler, really. They still have not found the person that gave birth to this baby at Electric Forest. And there's some other guy who they found somewhere around the campgrounds that they say committed suicide, offed himself, but he asked for help and they released him. And the crazy thing is Electric Forest is not saying very much. In fact, some of the people that run Electric Forest, and I'm going to be evil right now and just tell you what they're saying because I have them on my friends list in a private account with a fake name, not my real name. I would never put my real name down. They're talking about how this year, 2026, Electric Forest was the most epic event ever. Epic. Mm, I don't know who their PR person is, but they need to be fired. I'm fired. Like, I don't know if you knew that real life is occurring at the same time as Festy life, but you can't run around talking about how this is the most epic year ever and you have a dead baby on your hands. Like, homie, what are you talking about? Epic? Epic? Okay. I'm sorry. I just think it's funny, like, but festival people are something. For the most part, they're really good people, but, like, festivals are supposed to be, like, go to the festival, listen to music, do drugs, have sex. I'm sorry if you don't agree with me, but that's what they are for. They are adult playgrounds. Adult. And I've been hearing all these stories about Electric Forest letting people bring their kids, and these people are showing up with their kids and they're doing drugs. And no, I'm not going to tell you who the source is, but like I've had multiple people tell me who had tickets. Like, this is for real. They had tickets and they're like, I am never going back to Electric Forest again because I felt gross afterwards. But, it's the most epic year ever. Epic. I don't We're not talking about Electric Forest right now. We're gonna hop over to Blissfest. So, did you know that Blissfest is called Blissfest because it's in a town called Bliss? That's really cool. I know a lot of people who go to Blissfest, and they're really good people. And this festival is like they're hippies. They're hippies. We're not talking EDM hippies. We're talking hitting some hand drums, dancing around, praying to gods and wishing peace, love, and good vibes. I'm not even lying. Like they're not trying to fake the funk. They're really these people, and it's a family friendly festival. So, for what happened to happen at Blissfest is very it just caught me off guard. Like, I didn't think that something like this was gonna happen at Blissfest, to be honest with you. So let's talk about the facts. Let's talk about the speculation. Let's talk about festivals, period. Because nobody else wants to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it because I'm not afraid to be canceled. Cancel me, okay? All right. I'm gonna put my glasses on. All right, so during Blissfest Music Festival near Harbor Springs, Michigan, that's up north. I tried to point on a hand like a couple weeks ago. That's a cut from working. As some dude politely told me, well, he wasn't very politely about it. Well, he was sort of politely. He was like, "That's not technically okay. Listen, guys, this is not a map. This is just like a estimate, an estimate. So Bliss Fest is up here. I can't point to any place in particular because somebody will call me out like I'm National Geographic. Stop that. Sorry. Okay. So 37-year-old Daryl Lon Hartman suffered a severe neck injury while staying in the festival campground. Hartman survived but suffered life-threatening injuries and reported loss a significant 12 quarts, I heard. 8 to 12 quarts. I've heard a couple different things. Of a significant loss of blood. Family and friends says he is recovered and has communicated in limited ways while hospitalized. Like, Yeah, he can't talk. He's in the hospital. He's not doing good. So here's the interesting part. He is not just a festival attendee. He is a Metro Detroit resident, a performer, a mentor, friend, and he works with a company or a business. I don't know, one of them things. Very professional, very good etiquette. I have, like I can't think of the word, so you're gonna have to figure that out on your own. A group called Friends of Children of Detroit. That's sad that somebody is out there working with kids and something happened to him. Coworkers describe him as deeply committed to helping children. Now, here this is important. What police have said, the Emmett County Sheriff's Office has stated the investigation is active. Okay, right off the top, I just want you to know that word is important. Investigation. That means something has gone awry and they are investigating that there could be criminal activity. Is there for sure criminal activity? We don't know. You have to wait until the criminal investigation is conducted, but they're investigating, which leads me to believe that something happened. Something happened. Like they don't just investigate when nothing happens. Evidence has been collected and sent to the Michigan State Police Crime Laboratory. I'm curious. What evidence? I'd love to know what evidence. Investigators are conducting interviews and following leads, and it has not yet been determined whether the injuries were self inflicted or caused by another person. So that is the thing. He can't talk yet. We can't find out if he did it to him himself. There are some rumors saying that he felt unsafe and that this is a hate crime. We don't know if that's true. We don't have him to ask, and only he's going to be able to answer that. And the person that he said he felt unsafe to, we don't know their name. So this is all allegedly. But law enforcement has not confirmed any of those claims. Investigators have said they have not found evidence at this stage that the assault, and they're calling it assault. Was it a self assault? They're saying it might not have been a targeted hate crime. I don't know. But Blissfest response. Festival organizers said they were deeply concerned, expressed sympathy for Hartman, and said that they have cooperated fully with investigators. You know what? That's better than Electric Forest, to be honest with you. They also asked people to avoid speculation while the investigation is ongoing. They also said that in Electric Forest. I don't know. There's nothing you're going to be able to do. Speculation is happening. I want to talk about Blissfest because I think that it's important that we recognize the difference between Electric Forest and Blissfest. Blissfest actually started in 1981. I was only 4 years old when Blissfest started. That is a long time. It started in Bliss Township, Michigan. It wasn't created to become a major festival. Instead, it was organized as a fundraiser for an alternative school called Bliss School, an arts collective known as the Spectrum Center in Petoskey. Okay, Petoskey is up here. Here. No, don't correct what finger it's supposed to be. Please, it's up here, guys. Up here. Okay. The idea was born inside the Spectrum Center. It's just like it started out as like a thing for kids. Probably teenagers. It says alternative school. That's where them kids are that get kicked out of school a lot. They have a lot of problems. They got issues at home. I know this because I was one of them kids, so I could see this happening. They have the Bliss Fest looked nothing like today's event. I'm willing to bet that it's grown quite a bit. It has. Held on a permanent 200-acre festival farm near Harbor Springs, approximately 5,000 attendees, more than 100 musical acts, around 1,000 volunteers. That is quite a lot of volunteers. They have stuff about the mission, interesting facts. This is just like earth love and uplifting stuff. And that's about it. I just need to talk about this situation with the festivals, okay? All right, let's do it. I'm gonna get more comfortable. Listen, there's nothing that can change what I'm about to say. Festivals are dangerous. Electric Forest has grown way beyond capacity, and the monetization of the festival has made it dangerous. If I was a serial killer or somebody who wanted to do something nefarious, a festival like Electric Forest would be the best place in the world to do it. And I'm sorry if that, no, I'm not sorry. That's the truth. There's no preserving evidence. There's no stopping the party. There's nothing. There's not even a full force of police officers on premise. There's some, yeah. And then they've got what they call security guards, guys just chilling with them. But like this Electric Forest is like a freaking city. You need to have like a freaking city force on hand at all times. And letting kids into Electric Forest, like, are you serious? There are naked people having sex all over the place. Why are kids there? I didn't understand this about Burning Man either. You know, they let kids into Burning Man. I'm sorry, dudes. That's not where kids belong. They'd have no business being there. And if you want a kid to be there, you need to think about that. You need to think about, does my kid want to be here or do I want to be here? And I'm willing to put my child at risk to take my kid there because I can tell you right now, all the other party goers that are watching your kid, they don't want them there. They don't. They don't want to get high and watch your kid. It's a buzz killer. And the people who do want the kids there that don't have kids, you don't want your kid to be around because there's something wrong with that person. Why are you bringing your kid to a festival? Why? Now, Blissfest is a festival. Yes, it is a festival, but this started out as like an artistic collective that wanted to help kids. So it's kind of different. And I don't think they have EDM bands playing. Now, is there drug use? Oh yeah, there's drug use. If you think marijuana is a drug, then there's drug use, you know? That's that's true. And we can argue that today, tomorrow, the next day. And I don't know. It's a family-friendly festival. I know so many people. I know you've heard me say that. I know so many people that have gone to this festival, and I cannot tell you they're all freaking good people. Every single person that goes to Blissfest has like a pure heart. Do they smoke a shit ton of pot? Yeah, they do. But like this event was made and created to keep kids out of trouble. So you can go ahead and debate if kids should be there or whatever, but just remember that this festival was created for kids in the first place. And when I say kids, I say teenagers. And yes, of course, they bring smaller kids and have activities during the day. But the difference between Blissfest and Electric Forest is like the difference between like a tiny little rural area in Chicago. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just think that there's like something. I think 2026 is the year of things coming to fruition. I know that's like the most blandest statement, but I think there's a lot of violence in the air. I think there's a lot of political unrest. I think there are a lot of angry people out there for so many reasons. And this is bleeding over into festivals, performers' lives everywhere. And it's just not safe. And I also think that sometimes we as a society need to look at a festival and think, is this gonna be a safe place for me? Is this event like what I stand for? I know that Electric Forest has a lot of really cool art installations. It looks like a really cool event, but like they're letting kids come in and party. while people are doing drugs. And I don't know, something about an event coordinator in 2026 saying this is the most epic year ever. It just makes me angry. It's not an epic year, dude. A baby got murdered and you're cool with it. It was epic, or it didn't matter to you. And Electric Forest is not responding. Whereas Blissfest is responding, and I feel really bad for Blissfest. But I just, hopefully this guy wakes up. Hopefully we hear what happened. Hopefully nothing happened. But I can tell you that things are changing, and going to a festival and not thinking something horrible can happen is being pretty naive. So that is all. That is all I have to say on the festivals. I'll do a deep dive of what happened exactly at Blissfest when Daryl Lon Hartman wakes up. I hope he does wake up. I hope he survives. Let's just cross our fingers something might have bad not criminally happened. And yeah, my thoughts are with him. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Stay safe, stay spooky, subscribe, like, comment, or don't. But either way, I'm gonna give you a kiss. Bye.